Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a f***ing ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Phillips.
I'm Molly Bag.
Today is May 13th. Is that right?
Yeah.
Did I get it right?
Good
2021. We have the schedule out, and that means we have a countdown going on. What is the first game?
September 9th.
September 9th.
Okay, we theoretically have a countdown. You got this, Ralph.
Oh, I've got this. Hold on. Let's do it. Bear with me. I was not prepared.
It's the opening game of the season.
Oh, man. Are you serious? And here we go. It's not giving me the information I want immediately. The internet stinks
it is
anymore.
So frustrating. We're just so spoiled. If anything takes more than like 5 clicks, we're like, yeah, forget it. Well,
I know. I know. Right. So, do we want to guesstimate?
No, we'll figure it out.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe this.
It's probably still over 100 days.
Yeah.
I can't even look because my phone's
246 days.
Stop it! No, it's not.
That's what it's saying.
Till September.
That's what I'm saying. The internet sucks anymore.
No, that's not right.
You know, I remember back when you used to be able to Google stuff and it would just like immediately know what you wanted. Nowadays, man, I have to scroll through so many pages to find anything.
You know what? There's a sweet spot. There was a sweet spot for about, I think, 2 years, because remember when the internet first came out in search engines, it was like that. You had to weed through all the crap to try to figure out, find what you want. And then there were a few years, just a few, I would say right before smartphones, where you could find what you wanted when you wanted it. And then it's come full circle.
Wow.
You can't find anything now.
You know, it is incredible. It is incredible. And I don't know. I'm about giving up on searching for stuff.
Okay.
Just, like if I don't know it innately anymore, I just don't even look it up. 119 days.
Okay.
119 days. The last one I said 200 some days, that was from last September 9th, 2020. So we're over halfway. Okay. 119 days until kickoff.
Yay! Oh my gosh. And I looked up tickets for this game against the Cowboys. Of course, it's Thursday night, right? It's a Thursday night game.
Yes.
And primetime, first game of the season, the nosebleeds were $400 a ticket.
Yeah, it's insane. The seats down on like the 50 behind the teams is what, like 1,700 or something?
Yeah, I think 1,400 a ticket.
Yeah, so we're not going to that game.
Probably none of them. I mean, Greg Allman had tweeted about the Patriots game, which is going to be at Foxborough, and he was saying the tickets are $1,800, something like that. They start at. Good Lord. I know.
Well, we got a good show for you today. We're going to cover our schedule, some Buccaneers news, and
we never did talk about the draft, so let's just talk about the draft.
We're going to shoot through the draft real quick. Well, before we get to all that, if there's anything wrong with this audio, it's because during our off time of not doing podcasts, I've been rearranging offices and upgrading hardware and stuff.
And then also forgetting how to do it.
I forgot how to do it, yes. Well, I moved my computer and I put it back into a spot it was years ago. And I was like, why did I move it from here? And it wasn't until a couple of days later I went, oh, because it's near the microphone and I can hear it. So if you're hearing noise in here, it's probably a computer that's a little bit too close. And I am hearing in my headphones a fluttering sound, and I hope that's not on the audio. I tested it earlier, and it seems to just be my headphones, but...
In your head?
Yeah, it's all in my head. All right, so let's get to the draft real quick. We wanted to do a podcast that night, and then afterwards we were like, why didn't we do a live podcast? You know, I don't know. We're falling so far behind on all this stuff. So then we were going to
catching up on other stuff, though. We're catching up on all the other stuff we put off during the season. and then now we're falling behind on football.
Yes. Well,
That
it wasn't the draft. It was the schedule release. We were going to do live. We were not going to do the draft live. For one, we don't know much about college football. I ain't gonna lie to you. And two, there's plenty of other guys that do it, and they do a much better job than we could probably do. And three, it's long. Yeah, I couldn't talk that long.
3 hours.
Talk for 3 hours.
What?
I am just not that entertaining. You are, but
I'd be asleep. I think we did sleep through the draft, actually.
yeah, woke up right before our pick, had alarm set.
I didn't.
Well, I caught Carolina's picks. And
I know, because they're early. See, that's the thing. Within years past, we've always picked early, so it was not a big deal to stay up and see the Bucs pick because it was early. Not.
Hey, I'll take this any day of the year.
Absolutely, no question. I know.
All right, so what do you got for the draft?
Okay, so I gotta comb through my notes real quick, but the first round we got Joe Tryon. Y'all tell me how to say this. And outside linebacker, I was a little surprised by this pick. And I don't dislike it. I don't know the guy. I'm sure he's great. A lot of people were excited about it. But no, there's no but. It's cool. I'm happy with it. I don't really know what to say.
We're very fortunate enough, and Jason Light said this. They all said it. It was like, we have such a great roster. We're able to pick best player available. Yeah. So he was the best guy available, according to them. Now, the second round pick.
Who was that again?
Wasn't that Trask?
Oh yeah. Okay. Trask.
Trask.
This triggered a lot of people, and I was not upset about this. I like the idea of us picking a quarterback. I think it's smart. I think you should sit him behind Tom Brady, let him learn for a few years, and I love the pick, and I think that I'm sorry, I'm looking through my notes to try to find the list of who we drafted. There are a lot of people on Twitter that did not like the pick. And, when people say I'm looking for someone more athletic, what that says to me is you want a runner. And I absolutely 100% am against running quarterbacks. I do not. Why?
Right.
Why?
Right.
And so I was glad to hear when BA said that he is a pure pocket passer. I like that.
Yeah, BA said,
Thank you.
We like our quarterbacks to be able to throw the ball. That's their number one.
And it just doesn't make sense to have a running back as a quarterback. You have a whole running back room who their job is to run the ball. Why do you want your quarterback to do it?
Yeah, and, we talked about this in the last podcast, that it seems like the NFL is just really obsessed with these running quarterbacks, these dynamic quarterbacks. And the first player picked in the draft this year, the running quarterback. It's just like, when are y'all going to learn? I mean, Mahomes is the only running quarterback I can think of that's won the Super Bowl.
I know. And he's the exception, not the rule.
Right. Yeah.
They don't.
Then we stomped him. It just seems like, you get these dynamic quarterbacks and they make a splash, and, they'll have these great highlight plays and all that, but it seems like after a couple of years, they're hurt. The people figure them out. Just there's so much stuff involved, and they end up just kind of petering out. When you look at RG3, Cam Newton, Kaepernick, the list is just extremely long.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of it. Then you look at Tom Brady, boring quarterback, can't get much more boring than him. Pocket passer, he's an elite pocket passer. And, 20 years he's been rocking it and winning Super Bowls and all that. But it's just boring. And people are like, And this is entertainment. So you do want entertainment. It's like Jameis Winston. Me and you were talking about this earlier. Jameis Winston was entertaining. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
We had some great entertaining games with that guy. But, if you want to, there's one thing, if you want your team to be entertaining, you get one of these crazy quarterbacks that are just going to run around all over the place. Or you get somebody like Tom Brady. It's kind of boring, but you win. So, you know.
Well, and then we started talking about Tim Tebow. So when Tebow was in the league, I did not care for him for several reasons. I mean, the kneeling was an issue I just didn't, it was just showboating to me. Didn't care for it. Don't care for it now. And so I did not like Tebow. I will say that playoff game where they played the Pittsburgh Steelers was one of the most exciting, memorable playoff games I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah.
So he was fun to watch. But again, not a winner. I mean, he hasn't been in the NFL for 8 years.
Well, he's back now. He's a tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll see if he
good
makes the
for
roster.
him. I'm just like, whatever. Why do I care? Jacksonville's a shithole anyway. I mean, not the town, not the city, the team. So, you know, I'm just like, whatever. If he can play, if he can make a roster, great.
Yeah, he's got to make the roster first.
Yeah. So, I mean, people are acting like he's just been handed this roster spot. Like, no, he's competing for a job.
He's as a tight end. I mean,
As
it's
a
not like
tight
he's
end.
going in as a quarterback.
Right. And after being out of the league for 8 years.
Right.
So, I mean, good for him. And good on Urban Meyer for thinking he deserves a chance and giving him the opportunity.
Yeah,
So
we'll see how it works out.
we'll see how it goes. All right, let's talk more about the Bucs. So then we got a tackle in the 3rd round. Notre Dame, Robert Hainsey. I like this pick too.
Can't ever go wrong with
Can't go wrong
linemen.
with the offensive linemen.
Nope.
And especially the young guys. Let's get them and groom them and get them ready. I love it. And, you know, we certainly don't have very strong depth, I think, on the offensive line. I think, you know, we've got Stinney. I liked him. And, you know, we had some injuries to the offensive line last year. So I like having as many capable NFL-ready linemen as we can get.
I concur.
Okay, so then we traded the 4th and 6th round picks to Seattle for their 4th round pick. And we got wide receiver Jalen Darden. I don't know anything about him. What did they... Oh, somebody said he's a special teams guy. Like, he's a good returner.
Right. That's what I noticed about a lot of our picks is they're special teams guys.
That's
which
what
is our weakest
everybody
spot.
said, and we had said this in the lead up to the draft. Like, if we're going to shore up anything, it should be special teams. In my opinion, the issue was not talent, it was coaching. But we shall see, because it looks like we've upgraded some talent.
Well, we lost our special teams guy, Ryan Smith. So.
Yeah. And Anthony Auclair, he played on special teams too. We lost him.
Yeah.
Then in the 5th round, we got inside linebacker KJ Britt. I think he's one of these special team studs. So I like that pick. Can never have enough depth there either. Although, I mean, we got Kevin Minter. I like him. He played well. Then in the 7th, we had 2 7th round picks. The first was cornerback Chris Wilcox. And then Mr. Irrelevant, inside linebacker Grant Stewart. So
now we've got 4 quarterbacks on our roster right now, you know, including the new quarterback we got. I don't think we're going to keep 4 quarterbacks. And,
I know.
You know, we just signed Bortles again.
No, Gabbert.
Gabbert.
We were just talking about Bortles.
Yeah.
He just signed with Green Bay.
That's right. Which is so funny. That's a hilarious situation going on over there.
I know. Oh, you know what? We need to talk about that because it has to do with the media.
Okay. We'll touch on that there in a minute.
Okay.
With the new, the way they changed the practice squad and everything, we might be able to keep 4 quarterbacks. You know, put one. There's a way you can put veterans on the practice squad now, or these reserve guys. I think there's 5 spots. I don't know. It's confusing, but I think we might be able to keep 4. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I can't see us getting rid of any of our quarterbacks.
I know.
You know, we definitely.
I mean, you gotta keep Ryan Griffin because he's the world's greatest wingman
Best
for Tom
backup
Brady.
ever.
How can you not keep him? And if he makes the roster, it'll be like the longest tenured Buccaneer quarterback with 7 seasons or something, who hasn't even really started. So, and then you have Blaine Gabbert, who that is, BA's guy who BA likes. So
Yeah, we just re-signed him. So.
we just re-signed Ryan Griffin too.
Yeah.
Both of them. And then from what I understand, I don't know if it's you can't put a second round pick on the practice squad or you don't want to because then other teams can get them. Like, why would you,
Yeah, good point.
So I think like Kyle Trask is going to be on the roster.
If he makes the team, he might not. I mean, second round pick quarterback, he's probably going to make a team.
He's going to make the team.
You never know.
I mean, they would probably give him a couple of years. I think at the we wouldn't cut him. Maybe we would trade him, but I highly doubt that's going to happen.
So Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, wait, let me talk about a couple other things with the roster because we did make some moves. We signed safety Raven Green, who happens to be a Virginia Beach native from around here. I told Ralph, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I know him."
Oh yeah,
and
Raven, man. Yeah,
that
used to hang out.
He's cool. No, he didn't. It's a lie. He lied to me. And then inside linebacker Joseph Jones. I forget where he came from. And then we signed cornerback Nate Brooks, and we claimed outside linebacker Ladarius Hamilton off waivers from the Cowboys. So we have made some moves. And, all these guys. Oh, and then we got a bunch of the undrafted free agents. I'm not going to read through those. So, this is the time of year for all these roster moves. See how many we can rack up this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this.
God, remember that year with, what was it, Lovey and...
Lovey.
Who was the general manager then? Was it Light?
Wasn't it Light? Yeah,
Yeah,
because I think Mark Dominic got fired.
they had like 100 and some transactions before the season or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculous. They were
outrageous.
just going crazy.
But then it was always the same guys. They were cutting them and then bringing them back,
bringing
bringing them back.
Uh,
Okay.
So, Aaron Rodgers. So, there's that report Adam Schefter put out on draft day that said, what did he say? He said, was he saying the Packers or both sides were unhappy and they wanted to I think it was Aaron wanted out. I think that's what he was saying. Yeah, I can't remember what the article was about, but I mean, there's just been so much stuff flying around.
Oh my gosh. It's just outrageous.
But it was very weird for him to put that out on draft day. And then they did an interview with him later, and in the article it said, it started off with, according to sources inside the league and the team, that blah, 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 blah. And then he was interviewed on Rich Eisen's show, I think.
No, it was Dan Patrick.
And they asked him, they were like, so, this is information you got that day? And he was like, no, this is stuff that I've been gathering throughout the off season. And they were like, well, why did you put it out on draft day? Couldn't you wait a couple days or do it the day before or a few days before and everything? And he was just like, man.
I chose to put it out on draft day.
Yeah. He was like, I didn't really think about it. I was like, what? So that was a big story on draft day.
It was a huge story that he essentially made up. He made it up. He had no sources.
He did make it up. He kind of admitted to that.
Yeah.
He was kind of like, just kind of this feeling I had from talking to people.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
And that was really surprising because Schefter is one of the guys that I really like because he's almost always right. I mean, he's very...
Like, why do you sacrifice your credibility like that? I'll never believe him again. Will you?
Well, it all depends on what happens in Green Bay. Yeah.
Well, what if it's a self-fulfilling prophecy? What if he put this shit out there and then he's stirring the pot and there really wasn't any trouble and then, all of a sudden he makes trouble.
Yeah.
Because you know how petty Aaron Rodgers is.
I don't know the guy personally, but from all
the
the
dude
stuff
doesn't
we've
talk
read,
to his mom. He cannot keep any supporting cast on the offense around him for any extended period of time.
Yeah, there's reports that he gets when somebody doesn't do what he wants, he just won't throw the ball to him.
He gets pissy with everybody.
Yeah. And he got the coach fired last year.
Yeah.
Before last.
Yeah. So I just, but I mean, on both sides, I just think Adam Schefter is in the wrong here. I think it's just a journalistic.
Yeah.
I just can't believe any credible journalist would stake their career on conjecture.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that. And it really did surprise me coming from him.
I know.
And, what's going on in Green Bay? I don't know. Apparently, Aaron Rodgers is not happy. I would be surprised if he's there to start the season.
Really?
Yeah.
I
The fans, the fans I've talked to that are Green Bay fans, they're like, we're tired of him. It just seems to be, they're just aggravated with him. He's just always complaining about stuff or whatever. I don't know. But then again, Green Bay fans don't know what it's like to not have a good quarterback.
I was just thinking about that.
Since the 80s.
I know. You're just going to get, they had Brett Favre. They've had Aaron Rodgers this long. They don't know what it's like to be playing with a quarterback that is not at that level.
Yeah, it's like
so
Patriots
I don't
fans.
I don't think they know what they're asking for here.
Yeah. Yeah, Patriots fans, it's a very strange thing. I just don't see that much Patriot merchandise out there, people wearing their stuff anymore.
Isn't that weird?
They were kind of depressed last year, if I recall.
Wouldn't you be?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
First time most of their fandom that they've had a losing record.
Tom Brady tweeted out, he retweeted the NFL's post about this week 4 matchup. And he said, it's like when your high school friends meet your college friends. Like, that's what it's going to be like.
He's so funny.
I know.
He just
He's
does not
the
take
best
himself too
Twitter.
serious.
I know.
Yeah.
He's the best Twitter follow. He's got the best stuff coming out. He just changed his profile picture to the laser
Bitcoin.
eyes.
Yeah,
I like it.
Okay, let's cover the schedule real quick. Okay, we've got, this came out yesterday.
Yeah.
It was a big event. Preseason, we're playing the Bengals on Saturday, Tennessee Titans Saturday, and Houston Texans all on Saturday. So they're all Saturday games at 8 p.m., 7:30 p.m. and 8 p.m.
Lovely.
So
I love it.
It's the
I'm so excited. It's like 3 months away. I'm like,
Oh, I know. You were telling me today you were counting it down. You were like, it's only 3 months away. I was like, holy crap. What have we been doing all off season?
I know.
So it's the 14th, the 21st, and the 28th. But they're all on Saturday at prime time, basically. So, they might be shown nationally.
I am surprised that we're even having a preseason.
Yeah, it's a 17-game season. They've adjusted it this year. There's only one bye week, which that surprised me. I thought they were going to put 2 in. And we're having 3 preseason games. I thought maybe they would have 2, maybe.
I didn't think they'd have any based on what happened last year.
Yeah.
And the way that the players' union has been squawking.
Mm-hmm. Now, we start off with a bang. We play Dallas Cowboys on Thursday night. We start the season because we are Super Bowl champs. Thank you.
Okay, I hate this matchup. I just hate it. I feel like I'm so irritated about it. I think we're gonna curb stomp them. Like, that's not the issue. I just why does Dallas get a good like they're not good? Why are they?
I'll go over that in a minute. Or do you want me to touch on it now?
Yeah, touch on it now.
It's because they have the most fans, they make the most money, and their fans spend a lot of money. I used to sell football-related stuff, and Dallas Cowboy fans were by far the most profitable. They spend a lot of money on merchandise. I think it was the Denver Broncos were second. That really surprised me.
Well, I thought the Steelers too.
No, it was Denver Broncos. Their fans spend a lot of money. But the Dallas Cowboys are the most valuable sports team in the world. As far as worth, the team is worth. The Forbes list just came out, and they've been number 1 for the past 6 years. They've always been in the top 5. And they are worth $5.7 billion.
Yeah, but how much of that is that stadium?
Well, yeah, right. It's a big factor, but
yeah,
still they have the largest fan base.
Yeah,
they're still they suck. They've sucked for 20 years, at least a decade. They've just been horrible. When was the last time they've been in the playoffs? I can't even remember.
I know, even with that division being trash.
I know how they didn't make it last year. That was just pathetic.
I know.
So that's why we're playing them opening game. And, the Cowboys are getting 5 primetime games.
What the
Yeah, they always get the most primetime games. Always
makes me
have.
so mad.
Always have. My whole life. They don't even make the playoffs, but yet they get 5 primetime games.
I know, and this is kind of my issue, is that I have to watch their trash team on primetime so damn much. Like, can we please see a team that's like worth a shit, please?
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm sorry. I feel very strongly about that.
You were mad, man.
I was mad.
Who'd you want it to be, the Bills?
The Saints.
Oh, the Saints.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like, come on. I want to curb stomp them opening day on prime time.
Well, they don't have Drew Brees anymore, so they're not.
So we're going to curb stomp them. I know, but doesn't everyone want to see this matchup? No, probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. Just
Everybody wants to see the Cowboys. Actually, everybody would have probably wanted to see the Patriots and us. But again, the Patriots ain't going to be good this year either.
I know.
So we played that game Thursday night on the 9th, okay, at 8:20 p.m. And then 10 days later, we have our second game. That sucks.
It's a long time to wait for another game. That does suck. But, you'll have a lot of time for the game analysis. And we will be able to put a lot into our preview of the next game. Who are we playing?
The Falcons.
Oh, yeah.
At 4 or 5 p.m. on Sunday.
Oh, it's a 4 o'clock game. No.
I know.
Okay.
Well, we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1 o'clock games this year.
I like the 1 o'clock games.
So that's 10, not 7, not 1 o'clock games. Yeah, I know. I do too.
Okay.
So we've got the Falcons week 2.
Is that at home or away?
Away. No, that's at home. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Our first 2 games are home.
Yeah, all right.
We've got a very balanced. We've got 2 home games, 2 away games, a home game, an away game, a home game, an away game, an away game, a home game. 2. Yeah, it's like perfectly balanced.
And then we have a bye like right in the middle. Like week 9 is our bye.
Yep.
Okay. Let's talk about week 3.
Week 3 is the LA Rams. Which 4:25
we will see Matt Stafford. Who we knocked out of the game last time we played Detroit.
Yep. And then week 4, we got the Patriots. Now, we've got to go to the Rams on the East Coast on a Sunday at 4:25. Yeah, West Coast at 4:25 p.m. Then come back and play the Patriots the next week at 8:20 p.m. So we get a little bit of rest there. And, that's... you got to go to the West Coast and then back to the East Coast and then up north. It's a lot of traveling. Not as bad as it was in 2018, 19, where we did like 500,000 miles of traveling. We were going from the West. We went to London. Oh, God, that year was just horrible.
Yeah. Came back, went to like Tennessee, and then we went to it
was bad.
It was a lot.
Okay, and then at week 5, after the Patriots game, which is going to be a primetime game, 8:20 p.m. We play the Dolphins. So we are playing the AFC East, NFC East are the 2 divisions we're playing. So we play the Dolphins after the Patriots. And then we have a Thursday night game against the Eagles 4 days later.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But at least they're not.
At least
I mean, the Dolphins. Well, the Dolphins, didn't they make it to the playoffs? Or they were in the hunt last year? They were in the hunt.
Yeah, that division was like the NFC East this year or last year. Everyone was in the hunt. I think the Jets were in the hunt, and they were 1-15.
Stop. And okay, and then we go see the Eagles. We go to the Eagles.
Yes.
Okay.
Dolphins are at home.
Which Philadelphia has announced that they're going to have full capacity in the fall. So all those Eagles fans who did not get to boo and throw shit at the field
It's going to be pent up.
Act like idiots. I know. It's going to be all pent up. And so awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so then we go from there to another home game with Chicago Bears. They get to come visit us. That's 10 days later after the Eagles game.
But not prime time, right?
No, that's a 4:25 p.m. on Sunday. Then, after that, we travel to New Orleans to play the Saints the next
on
Sunday.
Halloween.
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah, and somebody said that we should wear the creamsicles and they should wear their all black. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be awesome.
They couldn't.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
pumpkin game.
Yeah, I know, right?
That would be awesome.
But the helmets, we can't have the creamsicles because
Didn't they change that this year?
I thought so.
I think so.
So maybe we could. I don't know. That would be awesome if we like color coordinated with them,
That would
like
be
some
awesome.
like a girlfriend, like it's our with your
Well,
girlfriend.
they kind of are our bitches. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
They are
Well,
going to be
I
for a
was thinking
long
about
time.
like two women, like girlfriend. Hey, girlfriend, like that.
Okay.
You like color coordinate your outfits.
Then we have a bye week, right? And then we go to Virginia to play the Washington football team.
Oh,
That's a 1 p.m. game.
we're not going to that.
No. You know, they played very well in the playoffs against us. And surprisingly, their offensive line, there were two teams that gave our defense trouble last year. And that was the Redskins offensive line and was it the Chargers? Can't remember. But the Redskins offensive line basically shut our defensive line down. It was very surprising. I was shocked because I didn't think they were that good.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're pretty good. And
Yeah, they gave us the most trouble in the playoffs.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that was a tough game.
Who's starting at quarterback?
Not
'Cause
not
Heineke.
Not Heineke. It's
Is it Kyle Allen? Because that was Ron Rivera's guy from
yes.
Carolina, and I think they traded. I swear they just got another quarterback that they traded for. Didn't they send
yes.
somebody there?
I'm going to find that out in
Okay.
just a second here.
But, you know, Kyle Allen was Ron Rivera's guy.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. Then they got Ryan Fitzpatrick.
No, they didn't.
And then Taylor.
Well, that's
Heineke.
50-50. He could whoop our ass, or we
yeah.
could put up 100 points on him.
Oh man, I'm crying over here.
Stop it.
Oh, yeah. But
Is that the 18th team he's played for?
at least he's going to try and circle around and come back and do two teams. Twice.
I
for
think
every
he
team.
has that, doesn't he?
I don't think so. I don't think he's ever circled back to a team.
I don't know.
But
I can't believe he's still in the league. I thought he retired. I stopped. You know, it's hard to keep tabs on him.
he's listed as their starter.
Stop it. And then they still have Kyle Allen, right?
He's third though. Heineke is behind
Oh.
Fitzpatrick.
Well, I mean, those depth charts are unofficial at this point in the year.
Yeah.
That I cannot believe they got Ryan Fitzpatrick.
It's like, whoa.
Well, in either case, they are going to be in the midst of a quarterback controversy.
Yeah.
Because they seem to follow Ryan Fitzpatrick wherever he goes.
And that was the reason why they gave us such a hard time, is because their offensive line was able to stop our juggernaut defensive line. And that Heineke guy made some great decisions. I mean, he played great. He really did. And I hate to say that about anybody on the Washington football team.
I wonder if they'll have a name by the start of the season.
No.
They're not?
Nope.
Why not?
They said they're waiting until next year. They did a fan survey and they asked for suggestions, and I think it was Warriors is the number one.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish it would have been one of those where people could put in their own names.
I think
and
it
you could do
was.
like Bodie McBoatface.
You know, every fan base in the league would have jumped on that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so continuing on with the schedule. Well, I'm looking real quick to make sure that Ryan Fitzpatrick is their starting quarterback.
Okay.
Actually, on their website, all they've got listed is Tyler Heineke.
Okay. Taylor.
Peyton Barber's still on their team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Good for him.
We'll see him again.
So they have not updated their...
Okay.
But they have him in the second slot, first slot, the starting position's empty.
Yeah, so they're going to have a quarterback competition, it seems like.
Yeah. Well, it'll happen like it happens everywhere with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Heineke will probably start. He'll get hurt. Fitzpatrick will come in, or Heineke will get hurt in training camp. And then that's how it'll all start. Okay, then after that...
You reckon Ryan is like paying people to...
He's pulling a Nancy Kerrigan.
Yeah, Nancy Kerrigan.
Then after we play Washington, we go home and we play Monday Night Football against the Giants. The Giants, who always seem to give us a hard time.
Well, and they've beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Then, and that's at 8:15 p.m. on a Monday. That's a
Who
Monday Night
wants to
Football game.
watch the Giants? Again, it's like the Cowboys.
They got big fan bases.
Okay, but even their fans don't want to watch that shit on prime time. They don't want everybody seeing that.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Then after that, we go. Hold on, wait. I've got these flipped backwards. I've been saying home and away. Yeah. Okay, that's right. Never mind.
Okay.
So the Giants come to Raymond James Stadium.
And they still have Daniel Jones, right? Is he still their starter?
Yes.
Okay. I would like revenge on him. Well, and that's the thing with the Cowboys game that everyone pointed out was that the last 2 times we played them, we got beat. Of course, we haven't played them with Tom Brady, but and I can recall, I think it was that Christmas game. We were up in a hotel visiting family around Christmas and watched that Cowboys game with Jameis. And that was the one. What happened? I think the guy came up behind him and hooked it.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
He fumbled the ball and they picked it up, ran it back for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he hit him right in the head. It should have been a penalty. He just clubbed Jameis Winston right in the head.
And they weren't even that good then.
Uh-uh.
And they beat us. So
yeah, that was the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was talking
Okay, so we go from the Giants to Indianapolis. This is 6 days later on a Sunday at a 1 p.m. game. So we play the Colts.
What's the date of that?
The 28th of November.
Ooh, so it might be cold there already.
Well, they play in a dome.
Oh, okay.
Then we travel to Atlanta, another Sunday game at 1 p.m. To play the Falcons, which we have no competition in our division this year.
I know. I'm not worried about anybody.
I'm not worried about anybody anywhere, to be honest.
Me neither. Yeah. I do feel like as far as the division goes, I have such low expectations of the Panthers. I feel like they wouldn't have to do that much to exceed it, and so maybe they could sneak up on us, but I don't think to be like competitive for the division title whatsoever.
No. There's nobody in the league that I'm worried about. But the only team that I look at on our schedule and I go, they got a shot is the Rams. And we don't know how Stafford's going to do there.
I know, yeah. I mean, they got a new quarterback, and we saw last year how it took Tom Brady a little bit to get acclimated. So we'll be seeing Matt Stafford week 3, and I don't think that he'll be running, that offense will be running on all cylinders yet. So,
okay, so we got the Falcons, and then we go back home, Buffalo Bills, Sunday, December 12th. At 4:25 p.m. Then the Saints come to Raymond James Stadium Sunday, primetime game, 8:20 p.m. on the 19th of December.
I wish we could go to that game. I want to go to the New Orleans game at home. I've wanted to for a few years.
Yeah.
That would be if I could pick any game, that would be it.
We haven't been to a Saints game?
Mm-mm.
Whoa.
Never. We've never been to a division opponent game.
My sister is a Saints fan, so.
And then your other sister is a Panthers fan.
Yeah.
And my brother
I know.
is a Panthers fan.
They probably picked them just because I'm, to root against my team.
Typical middle child syndrome you got over there. Everything's about you.
Well, I'm glad you recognize. Okay, and then on the 26th, the day after Christmas, is the Carolina Panthers. Now, your brother is a Panthers fan, and he texted you as soon as the schedule came out and was like, are y'all coming down for the
Yeah,
thing?
he lives right outside of Charlotte.
Yeah, so we might be going to that game.
I'm trying to talk Ralph into it. He does not want to go. So y'all in the comments,
Man, I'm just
peer
tired of
pressure
going
him.
I'm just
Peer
tired of going to other
pressure.
stadiums.
I know, but the alternative is a 14-hour drive and $1,300 tickets. So
Yeah, we could probably get these for $10.
I know.
$10.
Like right down on the field. Like
Probably get to meet the players.
I know.
Be part of the opening act. Y'all
Yeah.
got $10? Come on. Then on January 2nd, the day after New Year's Eve, we play at New York Jets.
Ugh.
It's a 1 p.m. game. Then
We might be sitting our starters on that one.
Yeah. We'll probably be sitting our starters for the last 4 games. At least the last 3, probably. The Jets, that's Sunday, the day after New Year's Eve. And then we wrap up the season with a division game against the Carolina Kittens, Sunday, January 9th at 1 p.m. So it's a great schedule. But like I said, there's nobody in the league I'm concerned with. There really isn't. We are head and shoulders above everybody.
And it seems like every team that might have been competition is just imploding.
Mm-hmm.
Why are all the teams imploding? But, that leaves kind of a vacuum for other teams to rise up. So there might be quite a few surprises this season.
Yeah. The Bills, I'm just not that impressed with them.
Josh Allen, he's another Jameis Winston.
Yeah,
he's one of
exactly.
those. He's a big guy. He's huge. But, the running. And when I watched him, I think it was in the conference championship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when they played the Chiefs, I was like, he made some plays with his legs, but he screwed up just as much and cost them. I mean, I remember one run where he went backwards like 20 yards and then got sacked. You're like, you can't that's the problem with one of the problems with these running quarterbacks is they do crap like that. And you're just like, that's not, you might have made one good play that way, but then you got 5 where you're losing 20 yards. And so what's the, in the net is a net negative.
Right. Yeah, so nobody in our division is going to be, we might lose a game here and there. I would not be surprised if we did a clean sweep of the whole schedule. Wouldn't surprise me none, but, that's hard to do. We're going to lose games here and there. But it's, we're definitely not going to get blown out by anybody. And I even factor in injuries. I look at our team and who would we lose, and that would be very hurtful for us. It would have to be a whole slew of injuries for us to even get. I'm telling you guys, we are so much better than everybody else in the league. Like I said, the Rams, they're going to be a little tough. They're a good team. The Saints, they're going to be horrible. The Bears, horrible. Eagles, horrible. Dolphins, horrible. Patriots, horrible. The Cowboys, horrible. Washington, we don't know how that's going to turn out. Like you said, there's probably going to be a quarterback controversy, but this is going to be later in the season when we play them. If we end up matching up with them again, that might be a tough game. Giants, I ain't worried about them. Colts, definitely not worried. Who is the Colts?
I don't know.
Quarterback now.
I know. Well, I was thinking about that for so many teams. I'm like, Chicago's the same way. I'm like, I don't know who their quarterback is. The Eagles, who's their quarterback? Who'd they get? I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay. Who'd you ask for? Chicago?
Yeah.
Let's see. They traded for, Andy Dalton.
Oh,
That's
stop
right.
it. Oh,
Remember?
God.
And then right behind him was Nick Foles. Oh, my God. That's embarrassing. Okay. And then who was
What
the
about
other one?
Trubisky?
Yeah, he went.
He's
He's not with Indianapolis anymore.
no, with Chicago.
Chicago, yeah.
He's not?
Yeah.
Did they cut him or trade him or?
Indianapolis has got Carson Wentz. God, I can't keep track of these quarterbacks. They're just
Okay, I remember that now.
flying all over the place.
I know. It's really difficult this time of year.
The Jacoby, who was it? Who was the Colts quarterback last year?
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, he was.
No, didn't they have Phillip Rivers? And then he retired.
That's right. So it was
I think
Brissett the
Jacoby
year before?
Brissett I think Brissett came in because Phillip Rivers was hurt. Or maybe he did play last year or the year before. Because didn't we play him? When did we play
Yes.
them?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, and then you got Houston, which what are they doing? What's happening with Deshaun Watson? We play them in the preseason.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett played in 2019.
Okay.
these quarterbacks just flying all over the place for the past few years.
I know. I feel like that too. Yeah.
Impossible to keep up with them. The Giants, it's just the Falcons, definitely not. The Bills, like we touched on that. They're just
Maybe
not that great of a team.
I know.
Saints again, Panthers, Jets. Come on, there's nobody that I'm concerned about at all.
I mean, we might see them in the playoffs, a team that might, but regular season, we got a really easy, I would say an easy schedule.
Yeah, but like I said, there's just nobody in the whole league I'm concerned about. That I feel like is at our level. But then again, we are the team. We've got target on our back. Everybody's going to bring their A games playing us, so.
And we have such an advantage because of the consistency of the team. Just the fact that we've re-signed everybody. I mean, look at all the teams, even in the division, how much turnover they've had. And this consistency is something that teams like New Orleans have benefited from for years. New England, when Tom Brady was there, they had a lot of consistency. Seattle, they've had.
Pittsburgh has usually been very consistent.
Yeah. The Ravens. So, that's going to work in our favor very heavily this year.
Yeah. It's completely surprising that we got all of our starters back. I mean, just mind-numbing.
I know.
Man, I don't know what the NFL's doing.
I know.
But there's nobody I'm concerned about, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if it was a rematch between us and the Chiefs. And we do the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I look around the league and I just don't see the caliber. Like I said, we're head and shoulders above everybody else. Now, we won the Super Bowl. We get 5 primetime games. There's 10 teams that are getting 5 primetime games this year. Now, that bothers me. When we won the Super Bowl back at the turn of the century, turn of the millennium.
Turn of the century stuff.
We got, I think, 3 primetime games. It was shocking that we didn't get a lot of primetime games. It really pissed me off, but it's because we're a small market team. So we're always going to get, that's one of the things why I say it's so important. One of the reasons why we started doing this podcast is to build the fan base up and really get people excited and, following the team. Because the more fans you get, the more primetime games you get, the more primetime games you get, the more fans you pick up. And it's just an increase. That's why Dallas has been, doing this for 40 years. They've been at the top as far as fans go because, they get these primetime games, they pick up fans. They get primetime games, they pick up fans. You get more primetime games, pick up fans. So there's 10 teams that have 5 primetime games this year. Now, you were allowed to get 7 this year, and I really thought we were going to get at least 6. But we're a small market team, so we're going to get 5. The teams that get 5 are the Packers, the Chiefs, the Buccaneers, the Cowboys, the Steelers, the 49ers, the Saints, Ravens, Seahawks, and Rams. Now, that makes sense to a degree because most of those teams were in the playoffs. However, the Cowboys were not. They didn't make the playoffs. And the Steelers got beat by the Browns in the first round, but the Browns didn't get 5 playoff games.
That's messed up.
The Browns got 3 or 2.
Don't anybody want to see the Browns in prime time.
Well, I mean, they beat the Steelers. But you're right. I mean, they're kind of like the Buccaneers of the AFC. The Seahawks,
your mouth.
They lost in the first round. Why are they getting 5 primetime games? Yeah. It's just fan-based stuff. So, if we want to increase our fan base and get more primetime games, or if we want more primetime games, then we need to increase our fan base. Doing that gets more primetime games. I
do feel like players like Russell Wilson tend to hang on to the spot. Like the league is kind of slow to let these caliber of players go in their decline. So players like Russell Wilson, who, he was a stud for quite a few years early in his career and has kind of struggled later on. I think they'll continue to give him primetime games through his career, just, because they don't want to let that go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you saw it with RG3, I think. And some other players like that. They just,
Yeah.
even though they suck now, they were good one time. So
Yeah,
the
Cam
league
Newton.
is just like,
Perfect
Cam
example.
Newton, exactly.
I mean,
So-
everybody was just like so excited. He went to the Patriots last year. Okay, so real quick, we got a few minutes left here. The Buccaneers were not listed in the Forbes most valuable sports teams this year. The Cowboys have been number one for the past 6 years. We touched on them. They are $5.7 billion value. Manchester United, who the Buccaneers own, or the Glazer family owns, was number one in 2010, 2011, and 2012. They've fallen down. They're, I think, in 10th place now. There was the Tampa Bay Times did an article about the Manchester United fans storming the field wanting the Glazers gone. The Tampa Bay Times, I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but they just hate the Glazers. They're always writing bad stories about them and stuff. This was another example. It's just the fans have, ever since the Glazers have bought the Manchester United, the fans have been upset about it. You know, every year they try to get them these petitions and protests and stuff to get them out of there. No big deal. Let me see. It's this year the top teams were Cowboys, Yankees, Knicks, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Manchester United was 11th. The Buccaneers were they were 49th in 2020 at $2.2 billion. Now the lowest team is $1.9 billion in the league. There was a point in time where the Buccaneers were ranked up at the top. Let me see, they were 6th in 2003 in the NFL. But it was because of the stadium. It was a new stadium, but the way they set up with the Raymond James Stadium is the Tampa Sports Authority owns it, and they basically lease it. So it's a really sweetheart deal for the team, and it gave them a lot of value. But a lot of teams have done that now. You know, basically get the city to pay for the stadium, and they just lease it from them. So a lot of teams have gone up past the Buccaneers in valuation because of that.
So are they valuing these teams just based on their assets?
Oh, there's a bunch of factors that go into it. Yeah. But it's just weird seeing the Buccaneers. You know, we just won the Super Bowl and we're not even in the top 50. It's just like, well, how's that even happen? Jacquez Green used to be our wide receiver. Loved him. Great athletic guy.
When?
Long time ago.
Okay.
Back before your time.
Okay.
He's the new head coach of the Manatee Hurricanes football team. It's a varsity football in Bradenton, Florida. So congratulations.
Good for him.
Bucs running back Leonard Fournette is switching his number to number 7, which was his old LSU number in college. I hate
Tom
that.
Brady is going to be really upset about that.
What?
I don't know. He hates he doesn't want those numbers.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't like it. Vincent Jackson, if you're not aware, he committed suicide.
No, he just died.
Oh, just died.
Yeah.
Okay. His funeral was a private service a couple months ago. His autopsy is not going to be released until probably December because his body was shipped, or his brain was shipped to Boston University for the CTE stuff, which 100% they're going to say he had CTE. The way
they have a vested interest in him having CTE.
Well, and plus they're the one that set up the scale, and the scale for like the lowest level of CTE is any tau proteins in your brain. So basically we all have CTE according to them. So he's going to be diagnosed with CTE, expect that. But his final autopsy report won't be out until December. So we won't know the cause of death till next year. That's just crazy to me. Rookie minicamp starts tomorrow morning.
Ooh. I hope that they have practices open to the fans, and I would like to go do that.
Yeah. All right, guys. You got anything else?
I just had that Chris Godwin married his fiance.
Yeah, congratulations, Chris.
So
welcome to the Ball and Chain Club, buddy.
it's just pure bliss.
Love you. Anything else?
No.
All right, we got to go pick up our kid from the bus stop.
I know. We're cutting it close.
Yeah, we are.
We did it.
All right, guys. We're getting close, man. We're getting close. And this season is going to be better than last season, I'm pretty sure. we are just going to plow through everybody. You got to remember last season we started off with no practice. These guys had no chemistry together. We had a rocky start. This year I think it's going to be totally different. So, hey, take with that what you will, but we're going to be champions again in 2021.
What?
All right. Till next time, guys.
Go Bucs.